turn it on now.
Full Circle Wealth. Like we live?
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
All right, bet we good then.
What's up, Full Circle? It's your boy Flash. Yeah,
Hey.
coming at you with another Wealth Wednesdays. You know how it is, man. You know how it go. We make the Instagram post on while we on live because we live right now. Because we live right now.
Yes, sir, man. It's the first one of 2026.
That's the open liner. Make sure the hair is straight. Crazy sometimes.
Let me turn my personal mode on.
Full Circle, man. First live stream of the year. We live right now. I'm putting the link right here. Full Circle Wealth. Let me do that one more game. Full Circle Wealth. We live Wealth Wednesdays. You know what it is. We looking at the SPY chart right now. I'm going to drop the link. Tap the link, man. We're going live on Twitch right now. Right now.
Yes, sir, man. You guys, welcome to Wealth Wednesdays, man. Wealth Wednesdays, man. As always, you guys already know, it's your boy Fisher Go Getter. It's your boy Flash. We're about to talk about the stocks. We're about to talk about the crypto. We're about to talk about what's been going on in the world and the economy. Hope everybody's had a good New Year's, a good start to the year. This is the first Wealth Wednesdays of the year. You see right here, we got the January 7th. And that's that.
Yes, sir.
That's that. So, today we're about to get started. We're about to talk about, like we talk about, the SPY, the Bitcoin, the Full Circle Wealth portfolio, break down these different assets. We're going to give you guys a chart lesson today. And then we're going to be talking about how to continue staying on top of your goals after you already created your goals and mapped out the goals like we did last week. So that's what we got going on this week. As always, or not as always, as we just started something new, we got our disclaimer, right? Got to hit you guys with a disclaimer. But before we get into that, Flash, let them know something, man. How you feeling today? How you feel? What's going on?
Hey.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like it's the first Wednesday of the month, first Wednesday of the year, and we the first ones to do it. There ain't nothing. Come on, man. We killing the game, bro. Got green juice. I just had a super fruit snack, man. This is how we coming, man. You already know. Coming different every episode, man. I'm glad that you guys is here tuning in. I'm glad that we done made it this far, and we're only gonna keep getting bigger. Stay with us, man, or either get left behind. That's all I can say.
For sure.
Without further ado, man, do your own research, man. We telling what we doing to each other, man. We ain't telling you what to do. We just doing what we doing. Make sure you do your own research before you get into. This is not financial advice. That being said, let's get into it. Full Circle Wealth, man.
Let's get into it.
How you doing today? How you doing Wealth Wednesdays? Tell them.
I'm really in that go-getter mood. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm really in that, let's give these people the value. You know what I'm saying? Something in me today, I just woke up ready to get to it. I was excited about the first Wednesday, especially excited, that we both here. We both vibing, man. We both about to grind, give you guys the value. We about to grow. I'm excited, man. I'm just ready to get to it, man.
Hold on real quick. Mm-hmm. What made you be motivated this morning? Just off the, was there something?
What I did was I got out the house before Wealth Wednesdays.
Okay.
So usually, we start around this time, 10, 11, but usually, it's one of the first things that I do during the day. Get up, get on the charts, and I'm usually in the crib, before we prepare and get on here for Wealth Wednesdays. But today, I went out, I live in the city, so I went out, hopped on the bus, went to Target, got some goods. I got some stuff to continue making my smoothies, right? I hopped on the train on the way back home. I was just around the hustle and bustle. I really wanted to just take in the moment, and I intentionally wanted to do that this morning, being able to get out on my day off and experience that morning rush of other people going to work. You know, while I'm just able to just take in the moment. You get to see the different people rushing. You get to see who's rushing, who's not, right? Who's up this early in the morning in the stores and who's not. Target's empty.
Come on.
You know, so it was definitely a dope experience. It gave me I just been at it this morning.
Yeah.
I don't know what it did. I just, you know, I think what I really wanted to do, I just wanted to really utilize this day, especially with it being my last day off before I go back to the 9 to 5 tomorrow. You know, I wanted to take this time to do the things that I like, which is get outside, enjoy it, take some time off. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
How you feeling today, though?
I'm feeling good. You know what I'm saying? Just like you were saying, real motivated to get up last night too. I was preparing for where we are right now, and so it's like, yeah, same type of mindset when it comes to just, you know, getting it done. Honestly,
and I think another thing too is, you know, we've both been both just preparing for this right here. You know, each day we prepare for Wealth Wednesdays. Each day we've been just adding more value. So we're excited to give you the value. So that has something to do with it as well. Just excited to give you guys this value, man.
Right.
You know, especially with things going crazy in the market, man. We can start off with the SPY chart. Let me make sure that you guys is able to see it real quick. We can move it a little closer.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, bet. Oh, this one. That's what I meant to do, not this one. But either way.
You know, I get it, Andre. My fault.
You good. All right, bet. So, first things first on this SPY chart, man, we got 692, right? We're at the 692. We're inching up to that 700, right? We're slowly making all-time highs, right? This is another all-time high that we made. I'm going to make this a green line because this is that target. Once we hit 700, that's a prominent level, man. Yeah. That's a brand new all-time high. That's a brand new number, right? That's something to look forward to. So definitely inching to get there. We broke out of this resistance point, all of that. You know, markets. I really want to talk about. I think we should touch on that Venezuela stuff. You know, because the market's been moving, and there's been a lot going on in the world. You know, Trump went over to Venezuela to go take over Venezuela, and the oil, right? And, you know, you got some stocks benefiting. You got the market benefiting from that, you know, oil, other resources, all the other stuff, right? So the SPY chart is reflected. We are seeing all-time highs. I really don't got too much to say besides, you know, that. And before I get into the chart lesson that I want to give you guys. But before we do that, you got anything you want to touch on about SPY, man?
We getting close to that 700 mark, man. We was in there last year, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? We was in there last year, and you know what I'm saying. We got as high as what was it? 660 or 691? Was it 689?
Yeah. It was 690, 690, 80. Yeah, December 26, 691.
691, and yeah, just like you said, breaking all-time highs and coming out of that range that we was talking about, that Friday high right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited to see where we close the week.
Yeah, man. And, you know, if I go here to the 1 hour, so quick chart lesson, 1 hour time frame, right? So this means that each candle represents 1 hour. So right here, we're looking at the 1 hour time frame, and I wanted to show you guys what a break and a retest looks like out of resistance or just support in general. So when we talk about support and resistance, support is where price is failing to get below, right? You see right here, price was bouncing off of this level right here, failing to break below it, and then bounced up back up top. At first, we were failing to get above this resistance point, and then we broke that resistance point. But what happened today? What happened was we broke the resistance point on Monday, and what you want to look for is a retest, right? So I'm gonna circle the retest real quick. That's a retest right there. So it broke, it retested, and then it went back up. The reason why that's important is because after support, when it comes down to support and resistance, after price breaks a resistance point or a support point, what confirms it or gives you a good confidence that's going to indicate going back up to the upside or that direction is the retest, right? So when it comes back to that price and then it holds above that price that it just broke out of, you see what happens. It went back even higher, right? So that retest is going to give you that real conviction that you're looking for when it comes down to SPY, right? Or just any type of charts in general, that break and retest. So that's what it looks like on SPY. That's about it, man.
Yeah.
What you got before I move on?
Perfect explanation, yeah.
Yeah, man. So to conclude SPY, man, real quick, SPY is moving up. We get into that 700, 692, 693 is where we just hit. Also, I think actually no, that's a high of 694. So we hit a high of 694 today at 8:30 in the morning, right? So that's where we hit a 600 high of 694. We're inching up to that 700. That's the target that we're looking for. SPY is making all-time highs. The market is moving up. That's that. Let's talk about Bitcoin, man. Talk about the Bitcoin. Take what you need.
I got you. I'll be right here with it. Bitcoin, man, we still in that.
And you can clear this stuff if needed.
No. You know, hold on. I see where he said that. Let me see. No. We keep it now. So, just like you said, with that support and resistance level, first of all, thank you for that, because now I can understand what I'm doing on the chart, right? So I'm going to use exactly what you just said, what you just taught me how to do, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to utilize it. Let's do it. So, just like you said, I got that resistance level down here, and I got that support, and I see on the daily time frame, let me bring it up just a little bit. On the daily time frame, we had this, it didn't come up here, right? Bang, hit that level, hit that resistance level, came down, retest, and shot down to the bottom. It was kind of like the reverse of what you said, right? So then we look down here on this side. Let me go get that paintbrush. We see this. This is a long time now.
No. This, you said, what was you saying?
This is the retest right here.
Of what? My bad.
This is on 85,000.
Retest of what?
This level right here.
Oh, that would be a support. I'm just, so a retest happens when it broke out of something and tested it again. I'm just trying to find,
Got you. Okay. See.
But did it? Were you referring to it as it broke out of something and tested it again, or were you?
No, I didn't. It stayed within the range.
Okay, boom. Yeah. So that's a solid support level.
Bang. I don't know why it's acting like that, but yeah, we also for Bitcoin we're getting out of that range too. So this is what I was ultimately saying, right? We had that touch, it kind of consolidated left a little bit, shot straight up, and when we hit that, we broke that level of 93,000, but we couldn't hold it, right? And the price is currently at 90,000, 975. And so, remember last week I was saying, we were in that range and talking about what it would look like if we went lower, but that's not what had happened, right? And so we hit those upper, like towards the middle 90,000s, and yeah, hopefully we see that 100,000 Bitcoin again coming soon.
Yeah, and it's looking like right now we're this is the level that is prominent for us right now. That resistance at 93,000. Yeah, we just rejected off of it, so now we're going back to that 90,000. So we're gonna see what happens. But if we end up breaking this right here, you got this whole space to fill. Yeah, right, and price likes to fill gaps. So this looks like. Watch out for, Bitcoin moving back up to the upside. Like we talked about, Bitcoin's been down for the last couple weeks now, but these assets move in cycles, right? So whatever's down is not going to stay down, and whatever's up is not going to stay up forever, right? So take advantage of the cycles. We could talk about, let me get into the full circle wealth portfolio, right? Let's break down SoFi, right? I want to talk about SoFi, right? So SoFi, it's a stock that I've talked about before, right? You guys already know, man, this is a financial tech company. They got services, all type of financial services. Help you build your credit through SoFi. You can get a bank account through SoFi. You can invest through SoFi. So, and they got lending programs, money lending programs. So all this stuff through SoFi. So right here, I want to bring up SoFi because this is going back to support and resistance, right? We're at a prominent level. Once again, we're on the daily time frame. Each of these represent a day. So you can see since December 5th, we have been playing in this range of $25 and $27, right? You see, we rejected off that 27. We'll come back down to 25, go back to 27, reject, then come back down towards that 25. We just recently, this Friday, right? So Friday, right? Over the weekend, I did some analysis and I have realized like we're at a prime resistance point, right? So this is either a point where since we closed here on Friday, it was a moment where we either reject on Monday or we break on Monday. And what we did is we broke on Monday. So you see how we broke this right here and went all the way up top. Let me go to the 1 hour time frame. Now each candle is representing an hour, right? So we broke that on Friday and went all the way to the high of 30, right? And this is important because as I was looking on this over the weekend, you can see what price did the last time it was at that level. So when I was looking over the weekend, I saw that, oh, okay, last time we went from 25 to 30, it was, let me see. I was trying to find it. But long story short, what I was trying to say is last time we went from that price from that 27 to 30, last time when we were at the price of 27, we broke it, price went straight to the price of 30, right? So that told me, okay, right? So last time it did that, the next point that it got to was 30. So it told me when it breaks, price wants to fill that gap and go back. There was no space of consolidation until $30, right? So that gave me a target, right? So then Monday opened, it broke, and then price went all the way up to $30, but then came right back down, right? Long story short, that's SoFi. I wanted to talk to them because they're also at a good level as well, looking to break out. SoFi is at $27. We've been talking about them since they've been at $20, $19, and my target is that $30 plus. So that's SoFi for you. You got any other crypto you want to break down?
Let's see real quick. Let's see. See what's up with the XRP. What the XRP talking about? Ooh. Real quick, I did just do a Tuesday takedown on what happened to this long wick right here, man. Go in the Discord. If you're in the Discord, make sure you click that video and see what this was about. But you see XRP, we were sitting at...
My bad, I didn't mean to pop up. I didn't mean for that to pop up. But look, Tuesday takedown right here. I just wanted to show you guys real quick in the Discord. My bad to interrupt. Go ahead.
You're good. We got XRP. We were sitting below this range about last Wednesday. We were sitting at $1.80, right? And then just over the last couple days, we've been seeing nothing but green candles, and up until about yesterday. But we broke this range of, let me see, broke above right here, which is around $2, $2.20, and we got as high as the resistance level right here. Bring it down. I was trying to find something else. But we got price sitting at $2.18 yesterday. We had the high of $2.40. So yeah, man, we kind of moving with the crypto space too, as well as what was I looking for? H-bar. As well as H-bar, we kind of had that nice leg up, couple green candles. You know what I'm saying? Let me see how much it was. About a 27% move on about a week.
That's solid.
In about a week, yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Hopefully my crypto holders, if that was the portfolio, you know what I'm saying, seeing the effects of these couple moves right here, you know? Fire, yeah.
Yeah, so you know that's the reason why we're showing the support and resistance in the technical analysis, because this gives you the opportunity to buy at certain levels so you can make that bread, right? So like he was just talking about, if you were able to read the price and know, oh wow, price is at a low compared to where it's usually at, I should get in now. You would have been able to capitalize and get that 27%.
Almost 30%.
Almost 30%, because what is most important what is just as important as purchasing the asset that you're purchasing is the price that you're purchasing it at, right? So if you were to buy H bar at the top, right, and then it falls to the bottom, you lose your money, right? Whether that's a good asset or not, you bought it at the wrong time. But if you were to buy at the bottom and see that it rises up to the top, you make money. I want to point out the fact that, like Flash said, it hit that bottom and moved up 27%, right? I'm gonna also mark let's put a resistance point like right there, right? So to me, after this gap, or after we pass this point of resistance, you see price has a whole lot of space to fill. This whole area, right, needs to be filled, and price came from this entire area, right? So with that being said, I'm just going to calculate the entire percentage, right? Because once again, we're on a daily time frame. Each candle represents a day. You get the most out of your investments the longer you hold, right? So if you hold to, if you see, so from July 25th to now is what it took that long to get from here, wherever, I don't know how to read that type of price, but I don't really know how to read it.
It's 30 cents.
30 cents. There you go, from 30 cents to, what's this, 12 cent then? So if it was from July 25 to December or January 26 or December 2025 to get from 30 cent to 12 cent, then that's a 149% loss, right? But knowing that this asset has good utility and is good quality, you buy at the right price, that's a 150% gain, right? So that's the potential when it comes down to utilizing support and resistance and just being able to look at the charts and read the price. Anything else you would want to touch on?
Nah.
Bet. So with that being said, man, we broke down the technical analysis like we wanted to. We broke down the charts.
We can talk a little bit about Venezuela just a little bit.
I touched on it a little bit. Go ahead and say what you might want to say about it.
Yeah, just like you said, the market is moving. Trump out there taking people and stuff like that, and so market is moving. We got gold hitting where was that before? 49,000, 4,500. Sorry, we got oil not doing what I think people expected it to do, but we got silver hitting $81 or $82 over the weekend, or I guess on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna use this time to show you guys how we utilize ChatGPT, and how you can do the same. So right here, we're gonna be talking about the Venezuela news, what Trump did, and how we're gonna break it down. All the news, but we need to find more news about it. So all we're gonna do is go in here, chat. We are on stream, and we want to give our audience a breakdown of what Trump did in Venezuela with the oil, and what are the key things that they should know, and how is it going to affect the market. And then I got 2 stocks that I want to talk about as well that are going to benefit from this as well before we get into the habit tracker that we got. But boom, that quick. All I did was I didn't even have to type it in. I talked to it, and it came back. Flash, you want to go ahead and read it for us?
Yep, it says what Trump did with Venezuelan oil. It says, number 1, U.S. seized control of Venezuelan oil assets. The U.S. is taking control of Venezuelan oil reserves and shipments, including seizing oil tankers linked to Venezuela. Then we have a naval blockade and sanctions. So that means naval is ultimately sea, right? And a blockade is you got to travel through water, so you got to go a certain way. So there was a naval blockade on sanctions. Ultimately, that means the U.S. ordered a blockade of oil tankers headed to or from Venezuela under sanctions, tightening pressure on Venezuelan exports. So that means they're not getting the same amount of oil that they had coming into or from the country of Venezuela. Then it says push to invite U.S. oil company backs. So that's companies like Chevron, that's ExxonMobil, you know what I'm saying? That's how you pronounce that. ExxonMobil, right? So it says U.S. officials are talking about bringing American oil majors like Chevron, Exxon, and ConocoPhillips back to invest billions to rebuild Venezuela's deteriorated oil infrastructure because I think their president, that was their dictator, I think he was scamming. I think he was getting over on the citizens.
Yeah, he was doing a lot. So Trump also, that was another key thing. He went over there. What triggered this is Trump went over there and just captured their president and his wife and just took them basically. And that's how all this started.
Yeah.
That was the crazy thing that happened. So he just went out there, he just took them. Literally just took the people and said we're taking the oil too. But then also the president out there wasn't the best president. I don't know what type of negative things that he did for sure, but I know, along with what you said, he was scamming the people, getting over on the people. So a lot of people you had some people who were happy that the dictator was gone, the president was gone. You got some people who are just on the fence about morals at the end of the day.
Especially morals, because why would you be taking the president if they have you got to connect those types of dots. It says Trump advocates seeing Venezuela's oil reserves the largest in the world, 17% of global reserves. Mm-hmm. So that means this is not only is it a president grab, but it's a money grab too, because they have the largest oil reserve, which is, I think it's worth almost it's upper trillions. Yeah, we'll figure that out in a second. But actually. All right, never mind. The largest oil reserve, and Trump knew what he was doing, as well as oil, right? They have a large gold reserve. It's not the top reserve, but it's not as large as oil. But they do have a nice gold and silver reserve, because I did hear that the Venezuelan dictator was taking those type of assets from the people. You know what I'm saying, and kind of. Valuing, you know what I'm saying you can't have it and having it for himself. He's the dictator ultimately. Mm-hmm. And so it says why this matters. It says Venezuela has a huge reserves but low output. Venezuela has the world's largest proven oil reserves, but due to mismanagement, sanctions, and lack of investment, it produces far less than it could. So ultimately, the dictator was just sitting on this gold, or this oil mine, I guess. But I was gonna say this gold mine of oil. And not utilizing it the right way. He's not paying dues to his people. There's people that are they're hungry, they're starving. There's people that's homeless. And ultimately the dictator is taking everything for himself, and it's reaping on the citizens of Venezuela, all the Venezuelans. And so, good looking. It says geopolitical stakes are high. This move is about geopolitics, not just oil. I said, the U.S. wants to prevent Russia and China and others from controlling Venezuela energy resources. So, that's pretty straightforward. There's international pushback from China and Russia calling U.S. actions violations of sovereignty. So, there is a thing called international law, if you aren't aware, and there's things that you can't do as a president from one country to another country, right? Mm-hmm. And so ultimately, Trump, and this is why he's never done it, Trump couldn't go to China unannounced and try to go take their president. We would be in a World War III type of situation, and not like a Cold War where we kind of been in, but we would be in a very, that term tight squeeze, it would be one of those type of things where it's you can't do stuff like that. So with Trump going to go to this other country and going to go literally take their president is not only insane, but illegal. Ultimately, you're not really, according to international law, that's not something that you can do. And so I kind of want to say something too. If there are a lot of other dictators like this, or people in power that aren't utilizing the resources within their country the right way, then Trump should go be doing that to a lot of other dictators and presidents of their countries, like, I forget his name, but Netanyahu, you know what I'm saying? He's the Israeli president, and he's done a lot of crimes against humanity. So we're not going to get too deep in that. But oil flow and infrastructure are still major constraints. Even with control, Venezuela's infrastructure is badly degraded and will take years and huge investment to restore production. And so Trump is trying to get that ball rolling immediately, not only get the ball rolling he's going to portray to give it back to the Venezuelan country, but you know what I'm saying? We know how Trump is. We know what type of guy he is, and he's a money grabber. Ultimately, he's a businessman, and so he's gonna put himself on first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see. Oil prices for the short. It said, how could this impact markets short term? Prices bounced after the blockade news as traders bet on supply distribution. Midterm, 30 to 50 million barrels into the U.S. market is relatively small compared to global flows, unlikely to drastically change global oil prices alone. And like I said, the crude oil is not reacting how a lot of people thought it would. It's really gold and silver that's kind of pumping. U.S. energy sectors, U.S. refineries on the Gulf Coast could benefit from nearby heavy crude supply if exports resume. Straightforward. Oil service and construction companies could see longer term opportunities if infrastructure builds. And talk about that real quick. Mainly the oil service.
Oil service and construction companies could see longer term opportunities if infrastructure rebuilds begin. Yeah, that goes right into what I wanted to talk about as far as like what we could even do with this information, right? This was a lot of information that we just went over, right? And I'm sure somebody is over there on the other side talking about, I mean, why? What am I even gonna be able to do with this? Why does it matter to me? You're right. Truthfully, this don't really matter to me unless I'm only thinking about the stocks, right? So that goes into the stocks that are going to benefit. As mentioned, they mentioned the companies, ConocoPhillips, they mentioned ExxonMobil, and they mentioned Chevron. These are all oil suppliers here in the U.S., right? ExxonMobil is an oil supplier, right? You have Chevron, who is an oil supplier, and you have ConocoPhillips. And then you also have SLB, Slumber J is another company that I just found out that is also going to benefit from this. Ticker SLB, but they provide tech services for these companies, right? They provide tech services to, figure out where to get certain oil in different oil fields, right? And then they also provide services on different ways to get new energy, right? So those companies are going to be benefiting, man. So the stocks that I wanted to talk about specifically, right? You have ExxonMobil, like I mentioned, ticker symbol CVX, right? So if you can see right here, on top of support and resistance, there's also another thing called candlestick patterns, right? This right here is a candlestick pattern, right? That is a bullish pattern per se, right? So when I seen this candlestick pattern before the news came out, right? What happened that next day is we instantly shot up. So before the news came out, you see Chevron was playing in this range, 150, right? And then we shot up all the way to 165, back here at 156, but the price is moving, right? So that's Chevron. These guys are going to be definitely benefit. This is going to be a company that benefits this year. ExxonMobil, right? This was already a company that I was talking about last year in the Discord a little bit, and they had a good 2025. They're back at 119, but they had a pop when the news came out. But I still see these guys benefiting because these guys are the biggest oil suppliers in the world, right? So back to what it says about oil service and construction companies could see longer-term opportunities if infrastructure rebuilds begin. That is facts, right? Since Trump came into office, he said, I want you guys to drill more oil. I want more operations here in the U.S. He wants to make America great again. And what making us great again means making that money here and having companies be the greatest that they can be in America, right? So if we can run the world, that's all he wants.
Right.
Yeah, so key takeaways. Trump move isn't just rhetoric. The U.S. is physically a wider market.
Yep.
Risk assets like equities might react to geopolitical uncertainty. For example, oil volatility can spill into energy stocks and materials, right? Just talked about that. Safe haven assets like gold or USD may get support. Flash talked about that a little bit, right? Environmental experts warn boosting Venezuelan output is bad for the climate and could slow global energy. Everything we do is bad for the climate, so that ain't new. Key takeaways. Trump's move isn't just rhetoric. The U.S. is physically controlling Venezuelan oil flows. The aim is both geopolitical influence and economic leverage, not just immediate market gains. Market impact is real, but nuanced. More volatility than structural price change right now. That is true. And I think, this was pretty significant, But crazy stuff isn't new to us no more in the U.S., especially in the markets, right? So it didn't do something super drastic. It just gave you a reaction, and then it went back to normal. Saying that to say, man, Trump's doing some crazy stuff. The U.S. is trying to capitalize and get as much money as we can, and all we can do as citizens is make our money too. So, yeah, anything you got?
Yeah, nah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, that's Venezuela for you. That is what's going on in Venezuela and what Trump is doing in Venezuela and how it's affecting the markets. Now we got the habit tracker that we want to talk about that, man. You know, I'm going to let you start us off with that, Flash. You get us into the habit tracker.
Yeah. Last week before the year was over. We had talked about you needed a notebook and you needed a good pen to, take notes in. And you see my guy, both of us got notebooks. He got the pen at the top, right, for his bookmark. So we were talking about exactly what you would need what steps you needed to take, right? We were talking about the money map, motivation, environment, right? And so one of those things is after you map out what that looks like for you, right, you create a habit tracker for yourself and be honest with yourself about what you do, what your habits are, right? So if you sit and play the game for a little long, you sit and, you sit up and eat a lot of food, or, you get up and go to the gym for 2 hours a day, you do 130 push-ups, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I wanted to give you a little bit of a view of what a habit tracker looks like, or what I'm doing specifically, because I could talk all this hot stuff, but if I'm not practicing what I preach, then I look crazy, right? That ain't what we do at Full Circle Well. Everything we talking about, everything we do is live, right? It ain't no demo accounts. So, right, so this is my habit tracker, and I'm putting it forward because you don't need to really be able to read the words, but this is my habit tracker, right? This is where I track my daily goals, and in black, I have my non-negotiables, right? In blue, I have things that I realize about myself that I want to change or work on, and red is more of my bad habits that I'm trying to get over and put in new and better habits, right? And at the bottom, kind of this way, I have my sleep tracker, right? So if you want to live a stress-free life, you need to pick out your schedule and figure out exactly how many hours you need for you to operate 100%, right? Some people may only need 5.5 hours. Some people may only need some people may need 8.5 hours, right? So I kind of find that sweet spot that with the sleep tracker I'm going to figure out what days are my best days and what days are my bad days, right? And based off how much sleep I get. And so on this side, I have labeled out all the 30 days or 31 days, in January, and just something that stood out for me on that day. So today is the 7th, Wealth Wednesdays. That's the first thing going on this paper when I get in my journal. Second thing, goals, man. You want to have goals. These are my January goals and for the month, and these are my weekly goals that I have. Like I said, mind your business, right? And I also got the spending habits down here. I want to keep track of what I'm spending every week and see how much money I lost and gained. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's kind of like a full example of what habit tracker looks like, and this is what I'm utilizing every day. And Devon has a system that he uses as well. You know what I'm saying? Because to each their own. This is what I used. You don't have to use this system. This is just what works for me. So my goal or my expectation of the viewers is to figure out what works for you, because that is what's going to make you the strongest. You're not going to do everything that a lot of people are doing, and that is perfect. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do everything anybody else is doing. You want to have your own way of doing things, or maybe even you might like the way somebody does it, right? And you want to remix it. You know what I'm saying? Hopping fresh out the kitchen, And so, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's important that you have a habit tracker. Shout out to Flash because he actually brought it up after we did our last Wealth Wednesdays. Sorry, if you guys followed along with us last week and built your bigger goals for 2026, what matters is your actions daily that lead up to the bigger goal, right? So you got to be able to track that however you want to do it, whatever works for you. He's got his system that works for him, and my system, I just follow a formula where each day I got my 4 pillars: spiritual, financial, physical, and mental, right? Those are the 4 pillars that I live by, and each day I got my yearly goals for each of those pillars, and each day I track how I attack each of those pillars, right? So, for example, mentally, if I know that my goal for this year is to read 5 books, well, then I'd better have read an hour or listened to 2 hours or an hour of the chapters that I listen to around the book, right? If I know that I want to bench 225 by the end of the year for reps, well, then you better make sure that I'm going to the gym, I'm doing my push-ups, I'm doing my dips, I'm doing whatever I need to do to stay consistent with that goal. As far as even the finances, you know how to track that. You're tracking your progress. Okay, I went to the 9 to 5 today. Okay, that's extra steps towards my finances. Okay, we got on the Full Circle Wealth, and you know, I uploaded a video, or you know, I learned something new about the market. Whatever the case may be, that's upgrading the finances. And the what am I missing? The spiritual, man. You know, you want to build your relationship with God, build your relationship with yourself and God. You know, you got to take that time to take time for yourself, right? Are you meditating? Are you putting the phone down for a minute and just focusing on your thoughts, right? Even journaling and writing these things down can be a form of mental or spiritual, right? Are you taking the time to, you know, maybe go in that room and close the door and get on your knees and pray and confess about some certain things? You know, really just taking the time to build your spirit, because that is the thing that holds you together out of all of these things, right? So with that being said, man, you know, get your system down, really track your habits. And I really like the fact that, you know, Flash emphasized this for us, because, you know, it helps you be intentional, right? It helps you be intentional. And, you know, when I learned from doing this with my finances, writing down what I had spent, and writing down how much I got paid and what I spent out of what I got paid and how much I invested, right? You're able to see where you could improve, right? Where you could improve and where you're doing well at. And this is prime example to be able to do it for our goals as well. You're able to look back and know that you made that progress, because at the end of the year, you know, we know that we made progress, but sometimes you don't feel it because you can't see it, right? And you know, 2025, the end of the 2025 was great for the both of us, because we made progress.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of
progress. We've seen a lot of progress. You know what I'm saying? We were able to see a lot of progress. I remember when I went, you know, for the fireworks, I went to the Space Needle for the New Year's, and I was ecstatic. I was jumping when I seen the fireworks. I was see it all. Yeah. And my girl was like, you know, I was happy to see you that way, but like, what made you? What about, you know, made you? And it's just like, you know, a tree grows in 2 ways, man. You grow underneath the surface, and then you sprout up, right? We ain't sprout up all the way yet, but we above the surface now.
Yeah, for sure. You know? we got our little stem is looking
our little
like
stem. You know, we above the surface, and that's what the progress at the end of 2025 meant a lot, because I was able to see it, visualize it. I was able to go back in, you know, my digital journals. I was able to go back into my ChatGPT conversations and see progress. So this right here is going to help tremendously by the end of 2026, right? Because imagine if you had a notebook out of all the things you accomplished, right? You had a notebook of all your good days, your bad days. You had a notebook of every check that you invested, right? You had a notebook of every book that you read, every moment, all these things, right? You could just look back and just throw this book on the floor and be like, that's the bag right there.
Exactly.
So shout out to Flash for real for emphasizing this and saying, hey, we should get on the habit tracker. We should show these guys the habit tracker. We should do it, and then they should do it. And then you guys can follow with us every week, because we are doing this as well. I really want to emphasize, you know, we're on this journey with you. We just happen to be behind the camera. Right? we really is on this journey. We just happen to be behind the camera helping guide you, because we on this journey, we realized we were doing something difficult, and we were getting through it. And it was hard for us. And we know that other people are trying, and you got other people out there, you know, while we were doing it. A lot of you guys feel like this ain't possible. You know, a lot of you guys feel like, you know, to be successful is just so far-fetched. To be right with your time means that you just end up like that. No, you build yourself like that. You know, all these people who are successful and are, you know, real efficient with their money, with their time, they didn't start out like that. You know, it took them time to write down in a notebook. It took them time, you know, even the people who have the most money in the world, you would be surprised how much they know about what they spend, right? You could be they're a millionaire, but they're a millionaire because of their habits, right? So have those same millionaire habits while you have $500 in your account. And when you get 500,000, it's not gonna be on accident because you have those habits. So yeah, man, what you got for us, man?
Yeah, you had said a lot because you can have the habit tracker too, but also a journal where you go back and see all your faults and all your wins and all your losses, right? And so the habit tracker is one thing, just like you were saying, but it's another thing it's another thing to reflect on what you did on said day, right? So you go through that habit tracker. For me, my system is I go through my habit tracker. I mark out everything I did for the day, and then I open up my journal and I write down exactly what stood out to me, right? Where I wrote a sentence in here about some important stuff, but this is where I jot down all my ideas after the day, right? So yeah, it's just another way for me to reflect because the habit tracker is one thing, right? But I could say that I did this, that, and the third. But if I didn't write down my feelings, right? If maybe my feelings ain't in the habit tracker that day, right? And I just went through it, but I wanted to express myself. Get you another journal, man, and put it into use and utilize it as well. Because just like you said, when you start to plant your seeds and you feel that the roots is growing, and you want to be rich, right? You want to be a content creator. You want to be a cheerleader for the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? It all starts about what you do on your daily basis. So the habit tracker and taking notes about what your day consists of. And not only just a journal for notes, right? Come up with your business plan in your journal. The habit tracker is specifically for that. You know what I'm saying? Come up with what you want to be, who you want to be, in 2 years, and take action into what that looks like for you, and utilize your time, because this is what's going to help you get through the day. You know what I'm saying? This is what's going to help you. It's a lot easier when you, also my thing is when I see my progress, it feels like a win, you know, and people, I think they need to get to the point where they have a win every day. And that is kind of my system on how I operate. I jot down my win every day and how I won, how I got 1% better on the day, right? Whether I did 200 push-ups, you know what I'm saying? Or I read 20 pages in the book, or I played the game. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting it in this journal and I'm getting 1% better. And then at that point, at the end of the month, I can reflect and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? On the 14th, you know what I'm saying? I made 5 bands trading gold. You know what I'm saying? On the 12th, I made 400 trading silver. You know what I'm saying? On the 31st, last day of the month, you know what I'm saying? Me and Vaughn charted out the SPY and we smacked out the SPX, right? So yeah, as long as you are getting your wins, it's only up from there.
Yeah, journaling, you know, like what you said about, you know, journaling your thoughts. Going back to, you know, anybody who's a beginner on this journey, you know, and taking it way back. It took me way back to at the beginning. You know, it's very important that you journal, right, on this journey, especially on the beginning of the journey, because you don't know yourself, and this journey becomes much easier when you know yourself, right? So I bring this up to say, if you are journaling, what helped me is I got a journal with some prompts in it, right? If you want to do that as well, but also come up with questions for your journal, whether that's ChatGPT to prompt yourself, right? Whatever it is that you want to write down daily. But I think it's important for you to write down your feelings out, like you said, so you can get to know yourself, right? There's.
Have you written in there?
Yeah, I've written. I got this like 2 years ago, and I used it for. Let me see. I was
just saying, take me far. So somewhere you ain't written, I kind of want to get a grasp of what it's talking about.
Yeah. Here's. Yeah, there's like 100-some pages. I used it like 93 of it.
Oh, you used it all? Okay.
No, not all of it, but I used it. So it's a Black men's journal, but it comes with prompts, right? It talked about, you know, your feeling. It has you circle what feelings you're feeling in that moment. It gives you different questions like as a prompt, right? Actually, read a little question off.
Yes, it says, day 45. You good, bruh?
Mm-hmm.
What emotions are you feeling today? Circle them, right? And it's 3 rows. It says joyful, grateful, motivated, hopeful, content, neutral, numb, sad, tired, stressed, anxious, fearful, guilty, angry, or other. And then it says release point. This is the last day of this journal. Write the narrative of your story your way. I'm going to repeat that low key because I feel like that might go over your head a little bit. This is the last day of this journal. Write the narrative of your story your way. You have to be able to explore many parts of yourself on this journey, just like you said. So you should have a better understanding of who you are. You can use these prompts from the first part of this journal and anything else you've written since then as an aspiration. Own your story, brother. This is fire.
Yeah, and it's truly important to just know who you are. How do I think? What causes me to feel this in this situation, right? All the things, because the more you know yourself, the easier it gets to conquer the world. I'm not gonna lie to you. So get to know yourself, journal, right? Build that spirit, because that's gonna be important going into the new year. I actually have 3 facts about writing down in the journal that I want to talk about right here. Flash, start us off with the first one right here.
The first one is people who write their goals down are 42% more likely to achieve them than those who
That's
do
almost
not.
50%. It's almost 50%. So what it's basically saying is, if you don't take the time to write your goals down after this video, you damn near not even gonna achieve it. You know,
it's more than likely that you won't.
Very much more than likely.
Yes.
At this point, after hearing that, you might as well. You don't even want it at that point.
Right. Exactly. If you're not journaling and following these same steps, man, and then let me see this real quick.
Yeah.
This is a lot easier for you if you feel like you can't express yourself all the way fully, right? And you're still trying to get to know yourself. This is a book of prompts to get you right, just like you said. Prompt yourself and ask yourself the right questions and be honest with yourself, because it comes to a point where if you're not honest with yourself, you're not honest with the way that you live either. You know what I'm saying? And then that reflects every day.
Yeah, bro. And my girl got me this when we first got together, bro. So I'm saying that to say, whatever girl you messing with, bro, if she not willing to be a part of the progress of the process of the progress, man, you gotta let her go, man. You're whatever you're having your girl buy you right now, or whatever she's asking you to buy, turn that shit into a journal or a book.
Right.
Or anything that's going to benefit your life.
Wait, hold on. Let me touch on that real quick, man. Your girlfriend buying you hella 2K cards and hella, you know what I'm saying, Xbox controllers, man, and she ain't getting you no damn books. You need to tell your mom, you know what I'm saying, I don't know if this is the girl for me, right? And your mom should be putting you in the same position, because your girlfriend ain't getting you no damn books, or your girlfriend ain't helping you elevate.
Come on. And you guys got to be helping her elevate. Get your girl some books. Get her some, learn something so you can teach her something. Go into the videos that we got on Discord so you can show her a chart and have her look at the stock market and know, that's what we need to be on, man. Yes. So look, 15 to 20 minutes of journaling has shown to reduce stress, improve focus, helping people perform better towards their goals, right? That's all. That's 15 to 20 minutes. There you go. What you got? You got a hand up?
Yes, I do. I want to say something, man. I want to say something. Right here, I'm going to tell you right now. At the end of every day, I spend at least 15, 20 minutes, and I didn't even know that you had this prepared. Real shit.
Yeah.
Every day, 15, 20 minutes, I'm in this journal, writing down my days, and sometimes it be 3-4 pages of how I'm feeling, you know what I'm saying? And I have absolutely seen the stress levels go down, because I know exactly how I'm feeling throughout the day. And then I'm not carrying over yesterday's anguish. I'm not carrying yesterday's trauma into the new day. I'm waking up and I'm prepared and I'm focused. And kind of this is, just like I said, I was preparing for earlier in the episode, I'm preparing for what's Wednesdays. I was talking about my journal.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
saying? So facts, because I like what you said about it helps you let go of that day so you can move to the next day. So like the other night, I get home and I realize that I have a lot to do. I know I have some stuff to do to prepare for the next day. And then I also need to journal, and I know I need to figure out what I had even did today. You know what I mean? We still good?
Yeah, we 54. Perfect timing.
Bet. So I had to take the time to write down on my journal, right? everything that, you know, that's why it helps those categories, right? Because the mental, physical, financial, spiritual, I wrote down what I did in each category. Okay. In the mental aspect, okay, I didn't end up listening to my book today. Oh, I got to make sure I do that. That's the goal for tomorrow, right? Okay, boom. But I'm able to see that progress. All right, now that today has been let go, right? After I have put that on paper, all right, that helps me feel better. Today has let go. Tomorrow, what do we have to do tomorrow? We have to do such, this. Just write that down and prepare, right? So after that, your mind is free. After 15, 20 minutes, I think mine was just like 10 minutes. I started to just feel great, right? Yeah. Because once you get a habit, right, it's not hard for you to take what's on your mind and put it on the paper, right? You just write it down, and once you release it, it makes you feel better, you know, especially even having this whiteboard. That's why I like having to write this stuff on the whiteboard, right? It helps me release what's on my mind, right? That's why it's very important, right? Very important that you journal and release that stuff, man. Yeah, shout out to you, man, because, you know, these small things, we can end up getting on pilot mode, you know? I've been consistent with journaling before. I've been consistent with, you know, actually tracking my habits is a new thing. But with that being said, we get to a point where you start to do something so often, you get to pilot mode, right? Mm-hmm. You start to be like, oh, I'm good without it. Yep. I can miss a day. I've been journaling consistently. Maybe one day won't hurt. Oh, I've been journaling. I might not have to journal no more. I don't really got to give that my time no more. But it's very, very helpful. Even if you do take a break from it, you know, even if you do say, I haven't journaled in how I usually do in the last 2 months. That's all right. Get back to it, right? Because when you're just going to come back stronger, and everything happens for a reason, you still are going to benefit, right? So that's that. Last one, regular journaling can increase goal clarity and follow through by up to 30%. I just talked about that, right? Helping me write down what I have to do for the next day helps me follow through with what I have to do for the next day. Because think about it. There's been times where I didn't prepare for the next day, and I woke up the next day at 11 noon, you know what I'm saying? And then at that point, you're playing catch up, right? Right, yeah. Oh, I got it. Oh, snap. I knew I was supposed to record a video, but I didn't say what time I was supposed to do that. Yeah. So now, when am I supposed to do that? On top of, I got to call Mel, and we got to talk about this. On top of, oh, we got the Discord, we got to do this. So plan your day. That's that.
Yeah, ultimately, schedule, just like you were saying, man. Mm-hmm. You got to have that schedule. That was one of the first bulletins on the on our recap. You know what I'm saying? That was our first bulletin. You need to have a schedule so you are surrounding yourself with consistency, right? And discipline. You are within yourself being consistent and disciplined, especially if you're waking up at the same time, going to sleep at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And then if that's one of your goals too, to just like you said, one of my goals is to share content on one of our platforms every day. And I've been consistent every day, every week. It's been something that either on the YouTube shorts, you know what I'm saying, the Discord, or even the YouTube, you know what I'm saying? And kind of today, the video starting the Instagram is kind of sharing content. I wouldn't count that. I'm still going to be, you know what I'm saying? But still, sharing content is my goal for every day and getting it done. Today, Wealth Wednesday, is absolutely sharing content. I'm tweaking. You know what I'm saying? And so, being able to follow through and having that goal clarity up 30%, I'm feeling that. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling that, especially when it comes to a week, because I'm not doing, specifically, I'm doing daily goals, but when it comes to goals, I like to work in weeks so I can see the progress, right? So this whole week has been ensuring that I am taking the steps and the time to really do what I need to do. So that's journaling, that's posting content, that's doing push-ups, that's, you know what I'm saying, spending time with the fam without my phone and stuff like that. And so yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a new one too, man, that I've been starting to utilize, and I'm definitely gonna utilize, looking forward to after today. Shutting that damn phone off. Yeah. I am trying to start utilizing an hour or two a day to shut the phone off. I find myself on my phone more often than I need to be. I have created a habit to pick up this phone when it doesn't need to be picked up. And, you know, you find yourself wanting to truly relax. And I didn't get that. I want to truly relax and just be at ease. And I realize that comes with shutting off my phone. So the clutch for saying fire. That. Yeah. So, man, so that was the habit tracker. That was the journaling. You know, we're going to finish it up by showing you guys, we're going to be talking about what's in our Discord, man. What's in our community, right? We tell you guys about this community. Yep. We tell you guys about this community, but we're gonna break down what's in this community, right? So first things first, you got the welcome, you got the server rules, you got your introductions, you got the frequently asked questions. That's whatever, not whatever, but this is the sauce, right? You got stock market news, right? We give you news in the stock market, right? This is where I'm gonna be coming with recent news in the market. We come with announcements, certain announcements, right? These are the resources within our community. You got the crypto news. Flash, talk about that a little bit.
Crypto news, man. The last thing I put in here was Trump just told you out of his own mouth the technical backbone of our financial system is decades out of date, meaning that crypto is on the way. Mm-hmm. Crypto is on the way. And so, yeah, man, this is where I come and I share all the crypto news that I figured out and I put together. And
Yes. We got stock market news, we got crypto news, right? You can expect us up in here weekly, if not daily, right?
Daily for sure.
Daily. Stocks 101, right? You got the Stocks 101 in this video, in this section. I got videos to help you and things to help you understand the market more, help you dissect the market. Go in here and watch these videos and you will leave with more knowledge for sure. Crypto 101. Flash got the same thing. Break this down for us.
Got you. So, yeah, ultimately, I'm talking about what the importance is of crypto and kind of like how to protect yourself. And Crypto 101, I got the what is, when was, why was, how does, right? Also talking about a whole lot of stuff in here. So this is where you ultimately get a grasp of what the risk is with crypto. And yeah. Stay vigilant against phishing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Secure your internet connection.
Come on, we got our Crypto 101 for the people trying to understand crypto. You can go through this right here and you will definitely leave a better, knowledgeable crypto person, right? Trading basics. Right here, we got the trading basics. This video is just a quick technical analysis of how to read the charts like I've talked about before. This is another trading platform. We got a few trading platforms that you can use. TradingView is what we use to read the charts, right? In the trading basics, this gives you a breakdown of what we use and the terms that we talk about and refer to when we talk about trading. So these are the basics of trading. If you go through this, I guarantee you, if you follow this thoroughly, you will leave very much more knowledgeable about trading, right? Stocks analysis. This is me analyzing certain stocks, right? It's been some time since I put some stuff in here, but look, it's coming back. We're going to see more stock analysis.
Right here, that lift.
What we
got? We was talking about that lift. Go up a little bit. Right here, we was talking about, there ain't no price in there.
Oh, yeah, there is.
I was finna say, come on. Ultimately.
Ultimately.
Been called that play out, though.
We got a lot of stuff that we've been in here talking about, right? And a lot more coming, right? Let me know if you guys want stocks analysis. I'm going to give it to you anyway, but you guys got to let me know if you really want it, because if I give it to you, it might go straight to the VIP to who might really want it, right? So technical analysis right here. This is what we just talked about today, right? This is the breakdown of how we read the chart, right? Certain terms, right? Long-term time frames. We talked about medium time frames, short-term time frames, how to choose the right time frames, what the hell the time frame even is, excuse my French. Key indicators, right? You know what, we'll talk about indicators and what they are. It's candle pattern reference, right? You guys, we got it in here so much to the point where I forgot I gave you guys this much sauce, right? So go in here, check it out. No more excuses about not knowing how to read the chart, not knowing how to trade, not knowing how to invest. This right here, you can go in here and do your due diligence and do it yourself, right? And look, we already give you the game coming on Twitch already. But look, man, we might be doing too much for you guys because you guys got to go up in here and fish for yourselves. Go read, go watch, go get some knowledge. Mindset. Talk about what we got up in here a little bit.
Man, we got Monday set the tone. We got my boy Fisher Go Getter, man. He's flexing on us because, you know what I'm saying, he's feeling it that day, man.
Yeah, this was a good day. Just got the cut. It was 8 in the morning. I got off an overnight shift. You know what I'm saying? You guys don't even know the half of it. I went to the gym, too. I'm out there on the pier with the Ferris wheel in the back.
Good mindset,
you don't need the half. Yeah, that was back up in June. Yeah,
literally.
Yeah.
We got Flash. I don't know who this dude is, think he is, but he talking about some real empowering stuff, man. The eagle is the first legend you must kill, man. The one who buries his old self becomes the new legend. True transformation isn't about fighting the world, it's about conquering yourself, dying to who you were.
And rising to who you're meant to be.
Come on, man.
That's all facts. You see, you got Flash coming in here with the mindset.
This nigga think he knows something or something.
Come on, hey, he knows something. Whoever that is, he know a little bit of something, man. So with that being said, you know, you You can expect us more in all these channels.
Wait, real quick.
Oh, snap. I went
right here.
wrong. You're not a machine. What to expect of yourself. What you expect of yourself.
Right.
100%, 100%. Why you're upset? Because you get 98%, 64%, 23%, 52%. But what really happened? You showed up all day. Mm-hmm. And this is facts, because consistency does not mean 100% every day. Consistency means showing up every day.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may only have 23% in the tank. Sometimes you might have 74 and 98. But no matter what, you showed up. And that's all that matters. Just keep showing up, right? With that being said, man, look. Books. We got books up in here. He just put a new book up in here, Creature from Jekyll Island, man. The Millionaire Next Door. We got The Power of Discipline, right? We got The Richest Man in Babylon, right? And then we also got to throw the books that we read last year in there.
Yes, we do.
We'll be throwing some more books in there. We got the videos. We got other videos that we've watched before that have helped us, that has helped us get to where we are now, that will help you. We got the tools that you can utilize, right? We got certain tools, S&P 500 map, the crypto corner, right? Certain tools and links, high yield savings account. We got the glossary so you guys can know what you guys are talking about. Oh, I need to put some glossary up in here. We only got crypto glossary up in here. So soon we'll have stock market glossary, right? General chat where you can just talk, right? Just talk about what you want to talk about. Web3. And we got tokenomics. We got collaboration. We got it all up in here, man. And we started off putting a lot of value into this, right? And then we kind of went on a hiatus to just go on our content run, which is why you haven't seen much value in this Discord. But look, man, our content run has been running, and now we're about to take that running from the content run and put it back into the value of the Discord, right? So you guys will see us daily up in there. You will see us daily with the stock analysis, with the stock market news, with the mindset. This is our hub, right?
Yep.
Once again, our boy Flash just dropped a video last night talking about Tuesday Takedown, breaking down the charts of crypto. You got these are exclusive Discord only videos. I dropped another video recently exclusively for the Discord only, not on YouTube, not on nothing. It wants to freeze up on us. It's moving pretty slow. What's the deal? Look, but hey, it's all there. It's all there, and we're going to be making sure that we continue to put it there, right? I got a candlestick pattern, how to read the price in the candlestick Discord only video. Man, we are coming for you guys. This is the hub. This is the hub. Yes, you see us on Wealth Wednesdays on Twitch. Yes, you see us with our skits on Instagram doing what we're doing. But this
is where we are. Mm-hmm. This is us right here, man. This, just like you said, everything is in here. So this gets to see it first before the Instagram and the YouTube, right? These videos get submitted in here first, right? And so you tuning into the Discord, not only do you get, well, depending on who you are, you get VIP access, right? But depending on where you are, you get to see stuff first, right? And this is where we are.
Yeah, man. And last thing that I wanted to touch on, I forgot it actually. Let's see if my brain actually goes back. Not too sure. Join the community. Join us here at Full Circle Wealth. I forgot what I wanted to say. Hopefully, I'll remember it by the time we get off. But follow us on Instagram at Full Circle Wealth. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Full Circle Wealth. And follow the Twitch. Obviously, you got anything you want to close out with?
As well as all the other social platforms, join the damn Discord. Mm-hmm. The Instagram, that's for the content, man. This is where the sauce is. Instagram, we on there playing and, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Telling your mom she's pretty today. You know what I'm saying? That's what we doing on the Discord, man. This is where the real sauce is. Just like you said, we went through all these channels. There was nothing but game. You know what I'm saying? And there's stuff that in here that we haven't updated since we created this Discord last year, right? And so that's how valuable the things that are, the things are within this platform, man. Get in this server, get in the Discord, hit the like button on the Instagram, watch the whole YouTube videos, tune into the Twitch live streams every Wednesday. You know where we are every Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Tuesday takedowns, right? Candlestick pattern reads. We here, man. We got nothing but value for you.
We here. And stay tuned. You know, we're going to be coming with plays. We'll be coming with crypto plays. We'll be coming with trading plays. We'll be coming with stock plays, right? Showing you guys the prices that we're looking at. All of it. Also, I remember what I wanted to say, man. You have access to us in this community. For now, saying that to say, we have 100 members right here. That is enough for us to manage. That is enough for us to get a text message and still respond. We're not getting too many at one time. But at some point, that's going to happen. Saying that to say, you have access to us. If you want to get on in this community and text my phone on the Discord, I will answer you. Flash, are you answering?
Yeah, I'm answering, man.
Hey, he's answering, right?
I'm answering.
You got a crypto question, you got a stock question, man. You guys let us know if you guys don't text us personally. Put this in the chat, the general chat. This is what we're looking for. We're emphasizing this because we want you guys to utilize this, right? And we're gonna keep putting this value, but we got to know that you are utilizing it. So with that being said, man, we're out. See you next Wednesday. That was a great both Wednesdays. I'm about to close it out. Unless you want to close it out.
It's your boy Flash.
It's your boy Fisher Go Getter.
And this is Wealth Wednesdays, man. Tune in next week, man. I'll see y'all next week.
I got you. Yo, the lady.